and happy St. Stephen's Day. It is the 26th of December, the day after Christmas, and the beginning of Christmas, really, for the Catholics. So I hope that you all had a great last 2 days. I definitely did. I got COVID a couple weeks ago. I don't know, something like right around the 12th, Guadalupe Day. So I guess the 13th I tested positive, and it all worked out because that meant that I was sick for a week and then I was negative and was able to still have Christmas and Christmas Eve, which Christmas Eve is my favorite day of the year. So I am trying to look at it as a glass half full thing. I think eventually we're all going to get it. I'm pretty sure I got it testing someone at work. I was not horribly sick. I had a very light fever, like 99, and a very, very sore throat. And then I still have a little bit of a cough. So I will be drinking during this video, but I mean, I always drink during my videos. And I do think that the hustle and bustle of the last few days did not help. And then, of course, your girl was belting it out at midnight mass like she hadn't been sick recently. You know, that's just who I am as a person. There's something for me that's very magical about the O Come All Ye Faithful at midnight mass. It's my favorite mass of the year, and that magic for me really fills my cup. So I was not missing that. My brother came in from Tennessee. His visit was shortened he was supposed to be here for 3 days, and he was here for about 24 hours. But we're grateful for the time that we got. And then my friend Sarah came in from New York. She's such a gift to me for Christmas because she's Muslim, so she doesn't obviously celebrate Christmas with her family. And that means that no matter what, she spends Christmas with me. And when everybody else leaves and goes home on Christmas afternoon, she and my grandmother and I rest together and watch Christmas movies, and it's really one of my favorite parts of Christmas. And it's nice to have a constant, you know, you never know who's going to be with you on Christmas, but it's nice to know that she's always with me. My grandmother also got COVID. I gave it to her. That was nice of me after protecting her for almost 3 years. But she was about as sick as I was. She was more tired than I was, although when I went back to work, her girl was exhausted. But we're both doing well, and she's pretty much recovered also. So again, we had a great Christmas. I got another Christmas with my grandmother, so that's what really matters. And it was a gift. So anyway, it is, like I said, December 26th, and it is the perfect time of year for a whip parade. I had kicked around doing this last week, but I still couldn't go very long without coughing and blowing my nose. So I figured I would wait until I was a little better. So I am going to go over my whips and also my plans for 2023. I have a pretty good idea of what my plans for 2023 are. I think they are feasible, and I think that I will keep up with it. So let's get to it. So my whips are in no particular order. They're just in the order that I have them here. I need to turn my phone on silent because it keeps vibrating, and that's going to drive me crazy. Okay. So here we go. My first whip is actually what I'm going to be working on from now until it's done, because I want it done by the end of the year, and I don't think that will be a problem. And that is my Prairie Schooler Santa, and this is the 1991. Sorry, it's still on the hoop. So let me show you what the actual pattern looks like. 91, I'm so sorry, 1991. So this one has the grapes in it. It's like the fruit Santa. So we're not doing too bad. I'm working down here on the jacket now. I love that pineapple. So turns out this one had several DMC colors that I didn't, the palette has expanded and I didn't have them. So I ended up having to run to Hobby Lobby and get them. And then just so you know, since I have it out, I have pulled the next 4. So that is 1992. So that's a fishing Santa. 1993, this is the gardener Santa. I might make 2 of this one and make one for my best friend. 1994, sunflowers. Maybe I'll put a Ukrainian flag in for this one. And then 1995. So those are the 4 that I will do this year, because like I said, I do try to do 4 a year, although we are certainly down to the wire. It's the 26th, but the border is, like I said, the border's all done, except for this there's a little piece in the corner here. And then Santa started. The jacket won't take forever. It's dense stitching, but I got it, like a lot of the counting is done for me already. So that's my first whip, and a continuous whip. I just consider my prairie schoolers a constant. I had planned to work on this during my lunches at work, and then I got sick and didn't have lunches at work. And then I was so tired by lunchtime that I could not do it. Then I decided to have a new start when I got COVID, because I deserved it. And I decided to start Fireflies by Lavender and Lace. Hang on just one second. Because nothing is ever easy, I couldn't find this. I decided to start Fireflies by Lavender and Lace. I've had this in my stash for a while. I had to order it from a woman in the Philippines, and I did get it. It was expensive, though. I think it was $30 for the pattern. I saw Sleeping Beauty with the Ukrainian National Ballet right before I got sick. And you're watching Sleeping Beauty and you're listening to it, and it just made me want to start this. And then I got sick. And I said, I'm doing it. Now, the problem is, I don't know if any of you have ever done any Lavender and Lace. I love them, but the patterns come in one continuous piece, like a Mirabilia. And I will show you the back side, because this is just the back stitching. But it's this big. It's huge. And I really need to take it to work and scan it on the giant printer, because I have a printer here, but what I was doing was taking a picture of the pattern and then printing it out. And it was just, it was not working with my COVID brain. So I got the colors together. I kitted this up at Hobby Lobby the same time I got the floss for my Prairie Schooler Santa. So these are the colors. I don't have any of the Krynic. I'll probably use the metallics from DMC, because that's what I normally use. And I don't have the beads yet. So those are the colors. And then the fabric I am using is a 36 count? I had it here somewhere. It's a 36 count, and it's an opalescent. And I went through my stash, because obviously I wasn't going out. Here it is. Found it. It is a linen opal 36 count from Russia, and the designer is KSENOKENTII. And that's all I got. So I have a very, 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 very small start on the red fairy. So it's her hair here. And then I kept having to rip out because I was trying to read from this. And I hope you didn't look at that too much. I was trying to read from that and it just wasn't working. And I said to myself, you want to enjoy stitching on this? Take it to work and make a photo. Not make a copy, scan it in to your thumb drive and print it out at home. And then I forgot to bring the pattern to work all last week. So, of course. So that is technically a whip, but it only got maybe an hour of work. So I will be taking that. Actually, let me not put the pattern back in there and put the pattern with my Prairie Schooler that I keep in my work bag. And maybe I'll actually get it printed tomorrow. Copy. Scanned. Oi! This is going well. I'm sure you're glad you're here. Then you all saw this last time, and it is my Winter Rose Manor. And this was either a retreat, I think a retreat piece that was released, and it's by With Thy Needle and Thread, and I am using a silk conversion, which I have right here. And I don't remember, Vicky Clayton silks maybe, but here they are. So they are like butter. Love working with them. And then what I did finally was I finally copied the pattern and copied the key so that I can just tape the key to the front of this and make my life a little easier. So let's see where I am now that I've showed you all that. So here is this. I planned to go back to that and then I haven't, which is why it's still on the hoop. I do need to take it off. And this is on a 36 count. It's a color and cotton. I don't remember the color if I'm being honest with you. So there's that. That's Winter Rose Manor. Next is I haven't worked in a while, but on the Country Cottage Needleworks, the monthly samplers. I have 4 of them done, January, February, March, and April. And next is May. I am doing these on a mystery 18 or 20 count Aida that I bought when I bought these silks actually. I bought like a whole yard, and that's what I'm doing these in them. So that's going to be the May. So that'll be a project for this year. And then I am using the DMC unless I happen to have the color and cotton. Like I had the white, but I think I've used it all now. So if I have it, I'm using the color and cotton, and if not, I'm just using the DMC. Not just, I am using the DMC. I don't like when we say just for DMC because there's nothing wrong with DMC. It's beautiful, doesn't run, there's nothing wrong with it. And it's affordable. So next is, I started this right after the invasion of Ukraine by the Russians, and it was my Lenten start last year. And it is the Prayer of St. Francis. And so it is, you know, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace and the whole thing. I am doing mine monochromatic with DMC 154. It's a very beautiful purple color. I love this color. And I happen to already have quite a few of it. I am doing this on a 40 count, and I do not have much done at all. That's the back. And I do not have much done at all, but my plan is to get some more work on this year, and I will tell you all about that in my plans. So I think that's my 4th whip. I think I have 16. I think that's where we're gonna land. So that's number 4. And like I said, that's on a 40 count, and I think it's like winter gray or something like that. I had initially bought it for a piece that I decided not to do. I might have it in here. Let's see. I don't. I was really bad about writing down my projects this year. Really bad, actually. All right. Next up is The Harvest. And this is a Told in a Garden. And I'm working on collecting all of these. I'm pretty close to having them all. I started this over the summer. I am using a gajillion DMCs. There's a lot of colors in this. And I am using a 28 count Stony Point. I think it's a Zweigart, but I don't actually know. It was, someone sent it to me. And I'm actually not doing terribly on this. I got a lot of this tree done. Well, I think the tree's actually done. So it's not as big a piece as I had initially. I mean, it's not small, but I got that tree is done. So the next will be the little people around it and then the quilt. And I do love the color of the tree on that it's like a very light medium greenish, somewhere in between a light and a medium green. It was a good fabric choice, if I don't say so myself. And I am sorry, I have to close these bags, otherwise I'll be in a pickle later on. And I have to clear my throat and drink my tea, so it's fine. Everything is fine-ish. All right. Next up was another new start for this year, and that was Kringles by Little House Needleworks. And I actually worked on this in December also. Sometimes I just want something simple to work on or that's like already kind of started. I am using the called for DMC and color and cotton for this. I bought the, when it first came out, you could buy all the color and cotton together. So what I did, this is on a 30 count Parisian gray, which is the called for. I'm using the called for everything for this. What I worked on, since you've seen it last, was all of this white in this section. So the window and the fencing. So not a ton, but we're getting there. Every little bit helps. And I do love this. And I love working on it. So, and you know what I love knowing? I love knowing that my fabric is going to be, it was wide enough. So that was Kringles. So I've noticed I have a lot of fall stitching done and a lot of Christmas stuff started but not done. So hopefully we get some Christmas finishes someday. And then I did not work on this at all this year, but I am planning on working on it this year. And I'm actually in a little bit of conundrum. So this is Coming to America, The Women of the Mayflower. And this is also another With Thy Needle and Thread. I bought the pattern when I was having some FOMO. And then my dad got me he kitted it up for my birthday last year. And I am using the called for floss and the called for fabric. If a floss color is incorrect, it's because, not incorrect, it's different. It's because Dreama from, it's a Baltimore shop that I really like and I can't remember the name of right now. She subs when she doesn't have the right color. So here's what I have so far. I'm down to the ship. And so this is a really big piece. And I did not have anybody who came over on the Mayflower. My people are new. So I am deciding if I'm going to leave off the names and then just do from the ship and the women. And then I do like this saying, it says, "We are living in the tomorrow for which they wrought." And I will put the 2020 in and then this bottom part. So I'm leaning towards leaving this whole section off. But we'll see. So yeah, it's a beautiful piece. It's really beautiful. But I just need time to work on it. And I apparently don't have that. And then this, I had been working on it on a scroll. And then obviously I pulled the scroll out and used the scroll for something else, and I don't remember what that is. And then here is my floss ring for that. And like I said, that's the called for. I was like, where's the pattern? Here it is. Mustn't lose things, Catherine Mary. And then this is actually in, someone sent me this, a friend, after she had finished her piece, and it's a Mayflower bag, and it's made by the 805 Stitcher. I love this. Next was my birthday start from this year, and it is in the Rika project file, and that is Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow. This is so big. This will probably take me 10 years, if not more. But I love this piece, and I decided to do it. I am stitching, well, first off, I'm using the DMC, as per usual, and there's a lot of it. I have to sneeze, hang on. Okay, there's a lot of DMC, but there's no, like, specialty stitches or anything. And I have so little done, it's embarrassing. Wait till you see this giant piece of fabric. This is a ½ yard of 40 count sand, and it's a Newcastle linen. And this is all I have. So that is just I'm working on the borders. I want to get all the boxes done and have that work. One, because I'll know my fabric's actually big enough, and two, because then when you're working within each block, if you make a mistake in that block, it's not a mistake in anything else. It's just done. So I would say my goal for this for 2023 is to finish the blocks. It's on a 40 count. I have discovered 40 count's gotten a little easier for me, but I do better if I have a good light. So I have a light that I got on Amazon for like 20 bucks that is helping, because I did get an Alt-Light magnifier, a small one, and I like it, except I cannot, for the life of me, get it to attach to my stand. It just won't work. So, but I've found the light is, I have perfect vision. I just need better light. My house is dark. That's just my life. So, like I said, I bought a light. Forgot to put the pattern for Kringles away. This is how we end up not being able to find things when we need them. And isn't this just a cute little Christmas bag? Unless I close the pattern in there, then we'll be in a pickle. All right. Next is one of my favorites, and that is Celtic Autumn. This is another lavender and lace. Are you noticing a theme? This is the original. This is what the colors are supposed to be. I am doing a conversion that I got online. So here's what my lady will look like. I started her in October of 2020. So the problem is I start these giant pieces. What is wrong with me? But so this last time I had it out, I worked on that gold on the bottom, and really all the skirt that's done, I just did last time. I am using the DMC, hang on. These are my DMC colors. It is a conversion, but they are DMC. And then for the gold, it's just a DMC. It's not the Diamant. It's the one they've always had, their gold thread. And I do have all the beads for her. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze again. Anyway, so here's Celtic Autumn. My goal for this year is to get all of the gold in, and then the orange section of the skirt. So just this part. I have to accept the fact that this is a many year. I like big projects, and the problem with big projects are they take forever. And she's not like big in the way Lady of the Flag was, but she is full coverage in the way Lady of the Flag was. Sorry, I know it's loud. So when I was sick, I ended up cleaning. I was pretty sick, not pretty sick, I was sickish Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday I got all my Christmas presents together and broke down a bunch of boxes. And then Saturday I cleaned the spare bedroom. Sunday I cleaned these two rooms. That one back there is a disaster again, because that's what happens during Christmas. And then Monday I cleaned where I actually sleep and the bathroom. So I was pretty productive while I was sick. You know, we just do what we can do, I guess. Okay. So I have all my projects in this, and then sometimes I end up just throwing things in here. Like this is the color key for Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow. This is fabric to turn this into a pillow. You never know what you're gonna find. All right, more lavender and lace. I know you're shocked. I love this bag. Polar Express, and it says believe, which, as you know, is my favorite Christmas word. So this is Christmas Spirit by Lavender and Lace. Oh, I love this piece too. I started this in December of 2020. I did a lot of starting big things in 2020 because I was depressed. I am using the called for DMC. There's not a ton of colors in this, but they are beautiful. I am using the called for 32 count natural linen. And I have no regrets about that decision because it's gorgeous. So here's what I have done so far. The next time I bring it out, I will finish this bow down here. And then I will start Santa eventually. So this bow at the top though, I think that might be like my favorite thing I've ever stitched. I just love it so much. It's so beautiful. So that is Lavender and Lace Christmas Spirit. And eventually, when that's finished and I have it framed, during Christmas it'll go over my bed where Lady of the Flag is. So that's that. All right. Next is, actually, I don't think I have this written down. Hang on, let's check. I don't, because it will be a new start. So actually, I'll wait to show this to you. But I did need to write it down. So this is another, hang on, I don't know where the piece is. Hold, please. I just had a momentary panic because I couldn't find the scroll rod that this piece is on. So in a beautiful Rika bag, I have another, wait for it, Lavender and Lace. And this is, I love this. This is Nantucket Rose. Vana, actually, all of my Lavender and Lace and my Told in the Garden are all because of her. Thanks, Vana. She started this and I copied her. So this, I'm also using the called for DMC. There's a lot here, but they are just so beautiful and delicate. I am using a 32 count stone washed Lugana from Seraphim. And I have practically nothing on this. It ended up being the perfect fabric. I had tried to dye a piece, and the fabric I dyed ended up being the piece that I used for Sister Redempta's St. John piece. So that's all I have. And it's just the trees up at the top. So what I like about this piece is you do this whole top and down here and her, but this here is all blank. And I think that color fabric is just perfect. So like I said, I don't have much of that done, but I do love it. But it's okay because we're going to touch all these projects this year. And then this is... Something's going on outside. Excuse me. This is my Glitter Village. This is why I got into cross stitch. And I am using a 32 count opalescent for these. And I'm pretty sure I'm abandoning it. So I've done... I think I've technically done 3. But I did 2 for me, and then someone bought another one that I did. Did I only do 2? Yeah, I thought I had done 3, but maybe I haven't. So I've done this blue one and this peach one. The problem is I like my smalls to do them in hand, and this fabric, it's very difficult to use in hand because of the opalescent. And again, with this, I'm using the DMC conversion unless I have the fancy floss. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm not abandoning it. I'm going to do them all. I take it all back. I had kicked around just doing the church. Where is it? Maybe there's not. I thought there was a church that I really liked. I guess I'm crazy. Anyway, I'm going to stick with it, and I'm going to do them all because now that I look at them, I really like them again. Again, this is why I got into cross stitch, literally was to make the Glitter Village. So that's another whip. And like I said, it's a 32 count opalescent. My plan is to use the opalescent until I run out of it, and then I'll switch to probably a 16 count opalescent that you can get at Hobby Lobby. Thank God for Hobby Lobby. We are almost done my whips. So next is... Actually, are we done my actual whips? We are. So, oh no, we're not. I have 2 more. So next is what so when I started the Fireflies and then figured out I couldn't work on it, I couldn't decide what to work on. And I decided to pull out the Owl Forest train station that I'm making for Mark, but really probably for like our future home in the distant future, you know, when we get married someday maybe. I'm using a 40 count for this and the called for colors because my friend Jen just happened to have them because obviously you can't order from Owl Forest right now. And I am going to pop this. It's in the hoop because it's what I've been working on, but I'm going to pop it out so I can show you what I worked on while I was sick. So the last time you saw this, the clock was not filled in. None of the flowers are around here. I did the light pole. I did this on the side, and then it'll go to about here. This is the end of the border at the top, but I still have to add the this side border here. So like I said, I've gotten used to the 40 count. I did fine with it this time. And I was sick when I was working on it, so I did this little dog and this plant. I filled in that clock. So, and then like I said, I did all this border. So I love this. I had originally thought that I would get this done for our anniversary in February, and then I didn't work on it. So you can't get things done that you don't work on. Like that's actually how that works. I cannot stop sneezing. So you cannot finish things that you don't work on. So I'm glad that I pulled this out, and I want to finish this before I put it away. So this and the Prairie Schooler Santa are my 2 goals for the end of the year. So I'm actually not going to put that away, and I'll just put it back in the hoop when we're done. And then my last whip is right here. Hang on. My last whip is my socks for my brother, which I think I showed you last time. I turned the heel, and I'm about to start the toe, so I'll probably finish these tonight. And I did make him try them on when he was here yesterday, and he likes them. So that's my last whip. Although my knitting whips I don't really count against myself. Now I want to talk about my planned new starts for 2023, and then also what my plans are for 2023. So first off, I have written down all of my whips here and my planned new starts, and I'm going to assign them each a number, kind of like WhipGo, but different. I'm just gonna ask my house robot back there, my Alexa, to give me a number between, 1 and 20 or whatever. I think 1 and 20, and then everything's gonna get a number, and then at the first of the month, I'm gonna ask it to pick a random number, and that's gonna be my project for at least 2 weeks. And if I'm really going gangbusters on it, then we'll just keep going. But I figure that there's 52 weeks in a year. I have 20-ish projects that I definitely want to work on next year. I'm sure there'll be some smalls thrown in there or things that pop up, but things that I need to touch for next year. And this will be a way to work on my whips and also have some new starts. So my planned new starts, first off, I got this wonderful bag for Christmas from my friend Jen, who I did not mail her Christmas present yet, and I might not mail it till the new year. Isn't that cute? So whatever my new year, new start is going to be is going to go in there, and it was made by Athena, and she wrote a little note telling me that it was a gift. And her bags are Stitching Goddess Designs. And I love this. I think it's so pretty, and it's the perfect size. So whatever my new year, new start is, that's going in there. So first off, I want to start George Decorates for Martha. My brother kitted this up for me for my birthday last year. Well, he kitted up the floss. He got it from 123 Stitch. And then I am using a 18 count Honey Ada from Be Stitch Me for it. So that is one of my new year, sometime in 2023 I will work on this, hopefully finish it. And that's by Plum Street, obviously. And there's also a Christmas one that I will do at some point, but not until this one's done. So that's in the new starts. And then, hang on. I ripped it. The name of the fabric that I'm using for, I don't remember. Fireflies. Then I'm going to start Frogwarts Year 2, which is right here. I've done Year 1, haven't made it into a drum yet. I have to talk Vanna into inviting me to her house so that we can have a drum making weekend, because I've watched her tutorials and I'm too scared to do it. These are the Year 2 colors ready to go. And I will use the same fabric that I used for Year 1. So that's a planned new start for 2023. And then I kitted this up during COVID, the first lockdown, 2 weeks to flatten the curve. And that is Coffee Quaker by Heartstring Samplery. I want to make this for my friend Bernadette for her birthday. I'd love for it to be in this June, but it might be June of 2024. We'll see. Using the called for floss. And the fabric is 40 count Stone Hollow. And I don't know who makes that. And that's in a bag that I got from, I won it from Leslie, is it Fat Cat Flossin? The one who raises cats, like Burmans or something, or whatever they're called, I don't know, cats. So that'll be a 2023 start that I've been waiting for a couple years to start. Then I will be starting, this might be my new year, new start, and To All a Good Night by Lindy Stitches. I love this piece. And hers called for, so apparently I paused myself, and I don't know when I paused myself. It was recently, but I don't know what I showed you, and I have no way of backing this up. So we were in the midst of looking at my new 2023 starts, and I'm just going to mention them all, and if you've already heard it, I apologize, but my 4 planned new starts are Welcome to Rivendell by Country Magic Stitch, and To All a Good Night by Lindy Stitches, Frogworts Year 2, and 5, Coffee Quaker, and the George Meets Martha in the Fall piece. So those are the 5 starts that I have planned for 2023. My goal for 2023 is to work on all of my WIPs for some period of time, a week or 2. So it's to touch all of my WIPs and to start those projects. And I think that's a feasible goal. So this was a lot of fun for me. I know it's a longer video than I usually put out, and I know that I'm still a little hoarse. So I apologize for that, but I wanted to get the WIP parade in before the new year began. So I hope that you're all well. Thank you so much for watching and for putting up with me having to pause every 5 minutes to blow my nose. I hope that you're well and safe. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas season. And I will see you in January to talk about my WIPs. So stay safe. Bye.